Well, it's Thursday night at Tiny Box Vape Shop in Kennedy. That's it, folks. If you look around, what are you going to see? Nothing but quality. The best juice, the best mods, and for that weekend, we got that Delta 8 for you. And when you really need someone to take care of you, we got the best staff. But that's not what you're here for. Tonight, you're here to see the greatest program director that Tucson had ever seen, Mr. Paco Jacobo. And he's going to tell us what it was like to have to manage us two idiots, me and Adley as the Chino brothers. So we're here right now, season 1, episode 13. Leo, what do you know about 13?
There were 13 people at the Last Supper.
That's true. Brandon, what do you know about 13?
There's 13 and a baker's dozen.
That's correct. And right now, folks, it ain't unlucky to have 13. This is one of the luckiest shows you're going to see because it's the Chino Brothers, season 1, episode 13.
Whoa.
What'd you think of that one?
Fire, man.
Dude, I was like,
gosh.
when I was producing that, I'm like, I'm just going to put in all these like really cool effects and drone effects just so Adley says that. So I had Leo and Brandon standing next to me. I'm like, dude, what does that look like? And like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. And then Brandon kept talking to me while I was trying to edit. I'm like, maybe we could stop doing that, Brando. And he was like, oh, sorry.
But, not only that, but the bass kicking in. I was like,
yeah, dude,
dang.
that was Tom McDonald.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's got dope beats.
He has that
and
really,
yeah.
Well, he has that really weird bass hum that goes under most of his songs, and like I don't know who's doing his production. Although I bet if Leo's watching, he'll put it in the comments.
Let us know, yeah, because that was hitting, man. Oh my gosh, that's what the kids say, right? That was hitting.
Well, dude, him, Dax, and Hobson, those three, they're like underground hip hop guys that are like real weird. It's odd, man, because their music is dope. Hey, Vicky, I do think I see the comments before you do at this point.
You must see them like half a second for me. Okay.
Vicky, thank you for joining us today. This is actually one of the coolest episodes I think we're ever gonna do.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I agree.
Dude, in the green room, did you not get chills just hanging out?
Yeah, it was exciting. I was like a little kid, just like, oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to this, and it's interesting. Well, I don't want to. Well, we already know it's Paco, our old boss. He's going to be coming up soon. Yeah, that's true. But it's like it's exciting. But you just talk about Paco and I were talking about it. Years go by. Don't let that happen, man. Don't let that happen. It's like years go by. It's like, man. But you get busy. You do get busy. You know what I mean? And you forget, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, all the stuff that goes on. And you look back, you're like, man, let's make sure we stay connected. Definitely. Yes.
Well, I'll say this. No thanks to you. We've stayed connected for 22 years after radio. And then, stay connected all through radio. Just kidding. Adley's awful. I'll say this. Adley's awful at returning your calls. Yeah. I think that's why I started the podcast, was just so I could talk to Adley. All right, so we got some sad news right from the jump, you guys. For everybody watching, the Tiny Box Vape Shop TikTok channel has gotten taken down from TikTok, permanently banned.
I can't believe it too, and it's crazy because you'll send me the link for the cool video we're gonna show, and I pull it up and it's all TikTok not available. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm texting you like, dude, what happened to the video we're going to show, man? It says it's not available.
Well, apparently, when you call Tom Brady a homo repeatedly, and then make fun of the governor of Pennsylvania and get multiple viral videos out of it, and then make fun of Rachel Levine, that's kind of how it goes.
Wait, refresh my memory. Rachel Levine.
That's the I don't want this show to get banned, so
I'll look it up. I'll Google it later. I think I know who it is. But oh my god.
So this is my family entertainment that my kids can watch, and they can watch at church, and they're not embarrassed by. What up, Gab? Gavin, our TikTok got taken down today, permanently banned, dude. Gavin was always my second actor on TikTok, so we're just gonna have to start a new TikTok channel, which is. Oh, well, that,
yeah.
what am I going to do?
I was thinking when Paco gets on, we could reenact a video that sealed the deal.
Will Paco be the horse?
Of course. Wait, he's not our boss anymore. Wait.
This is, it was actually a reenactment of us working at Hot 98.3 in the horse. Just kidding. That's not nice.
Oh my goodness.
All right, real quick, man. So me and Ad, we're gonna do a quick bit on sleep, because last episode we did that bit on those conferences we went to, and they were insane. And then we brought Chris in a little too late. I said that because Dave said, "What's up, fellas?" And
am I missing the comments? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at something else. Sorry. Gavin says, "What?" Oh, DJ Doc checking in. What up, fellas?
Yeah,
what up, Doc?
DJ Doc. Nice. Yeah, Ben Adams. What's up, man? What you bros, Chino Bros podcast at church? Oh, word.
Oh, nice. Wait. Oh, you're asking us? I guess you could.
No, he says he's watching it.
Be frowned
or are you supposed to watch it? I don't. Well, depends on what we're talking about. All right. What's the topic for tonight? DJ says.
DJ Doc
Vallejo.
Oh yeah, we're talking a couple things.
Yeah, apparently it's my TikTok channel getting permanently banned. But look, man, I mean, I think we just skip it and jump right into Paco, bro.
I think so too, because I will ask you this real quick, and then we'll move on. Sleep, is it the cousin of death?
No, but I will say this: I don't get as much as you do, and I have a sick bed. Like, I have an insanely sick bed. When me and Sherilyn finally paid off all our debt and stopped eating top ramen, I was like, the first thing I'm spending my money on is a really nice bed. So I bought this bed. There's a bed manufacturer in Pittsburgh that it's all American made and everything. They're called the American Mattress Factory. And so I went there, and then we got the full kit, bro, like the lift and everything. It does everything but the massage.
Yeah.
Skate or die.
Instead of sleep. Yeah, don't sleep. Skate. I gotcha.
Dude, I was wearing my skate or die shirt I think last week. This week I'm not wearing a cool. This is the first week I'm not wearing a cool t-shirt. But yeah, bro, I love sleep, but you love sleep more than I do.
Definitely.
All our lives I could always stay up you. But last night I stayed up a little too late, and that's why I'm glad TikTok got deleted, because I was watching TikTok. All right, look, we got a banging crowd that's super excited to see this, man. Unless you want to tell me how you sleep, brother. Go ahead. Tell me about your sleep.
No, I make it a goal to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I will say this, you can tell when our podcast goes long, because I feel like Mike gets tired. And you're 3 hours ahead of me too, so.
Oh, no, bro. Okay, you want to know the crazy part? When our podcast goes long and we end at 11 my time, I watch it afterwards. I'll be up till 2 in the morning because I have to edit it the next day. Remember? So I'm like, okay, where are the edit spots? Because if I can get good edit spots, we can get more views. So I'm just like, all right, I found a good edit spot. Boom, set it up. And then the next day, what I'll do is then I add the effects. So it's just boom, 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 boom. Try to get everything out as fast as possible.
Yeah, you do a great job, because what I do after the podcast is eat and sleep. But I will put it on while I'm brushing my teeth, you know what I mean? Get ready for bed, and I will watch a little bit. But
all right, come on, man. Let's bring this cat in, dude, because it's been 20. It's been
at least 20.
20 years, 21 years since I've talked to Paco.
But he did bring me over to Bakersfield from Toos. So
yes, you can tell us that when he's on here. Come on.
Here we go. Ready, ladies and gentlemen, Paco Jacobo.
We need to find that crappy CD, Pac, that was over at Hot 93 that would go like that.
The little sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, speaking of CDs, Oh, go ahead, Paco.
The 13th episode.
Yeah.
So the 13 is M is the 13th letter in the alphabet, which is for marijuana, mafia, and Mexicano.
Whoa, very nice. Oh, okay. He took my one for the baker's dozen. That was my 13. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, well, you guys aren't Mexican, so
I think Paco was bringing up marijuana, the mafia, and Mexicanos, because he was going to talk about Hot 98.3 back in 1998. That seemed to be what it was. Marijuana, the mafia, and Mexicanos, bro. So
it sounds like our clients and our DJs and our listeners. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Pac, I told Ad a couple of weeks ago, I said, Asian people are to Mexicans what black people are to white people. And what I mean by that is this. You know how every white dude has one black friend, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm not racist, I got a black friend.
Yeah.
Every Mexican has an Asian friend. I promise you. Every Mexican has one Asian friend. And me and Adley were always the tokens, man. We're always the tokens. like so bad. And here's the rub: is like I spoke Spanish, I look Mexican. Like Pac always had a vouch for it. He was like, "Oh no, this is my Asian friend, officer. So you can't really take us to jail today." Is that fair?
Hey, but think about this too, Paco. You were ahead of your time too. Not only did you have token Asians, you had a gay guy.
Yeah.
You had a white lady that did the news.
Yes.
And you had the international playboy. I don't know where he fits in, but Andy B. but you had all that stuff. You had everything.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I know.
Andy.
Rest in peace.
Andy B. Rest in peace.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, you guys have talked about everybody, but man, there are some Speedy and Vicky Valles stories that I don't even know that we can tell on.
Oh no, nah, bro. That's not for us. We try to keep it family friendly.
Oh my God!
Well, both of those are not family friendly.
I know.
Hey, and if it's okay,
they won't hear.
Yeah, I got to delve into a little bit of history of this too, because Paco, Hot 98.3, but there was a station before Hot 98.3. There was Power 97.5.
Oh,
and
great station.
Yeah, that was awesome. And there was a video floating around. I want to say it was Rich. It was R-Dub. It was Club Nouveau at Kennedy Park. Do you remember that show? It was an outdoors at the venue, and you were there. I want to say Frederico was there. And this is before. Yes. Oh man, good times. And this is before Sketch and I came on board. But I gotta admit, listening to
you just called me Sketch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Okay. Bringing back old school memories. But this is before I got on, and I remember. I think I had one of the dial radios. So I try to tune into 98.3 because it'd be Spanish, English, and it was our only outlet for hip hop. But then I accidentally got on Power 97.5 on the dial, and I was like, man, this station's cool. Hey, man, it's playing all hip hop, all English, R&B stuff. And then your morning show was on, and it was with the morning house party with Chico, and you were really good at this character that had me cracking up all the time. Frankie Markets.
Hold on, because I want to get into all that, Adelaide. But for me, it's like, dude, we got a history book sitting in front of us. So why are we telling his story? You know what I'm saying? Like, Pac. So I just want to lead it in real quickly like this. Me and Ad joined the Hot 98.3 alumni Facebook page, and there was a picture of Dub when he was working at La Caliente, and he said that he talked this country place into flipping into a hip hop station. Okay. Yeah. Now, my question is, were you working at La Caliente before you worked at Power 97.5? And before you answer, tell us from wherever the starting point is. Go ahead.
So yes, R-Dub and I can't remember the other guy's name, but anyway, so yes, they went to go talk to Hassie about flipping the country station to a hip hop station. It didn't work out, but for some reason, Rick Verdugo convinced them, and Isaac the horse, I think Ramirez, Caballo, convinced them to switch it to. They wanted to make it exactly like Hot 90.
Hot 97 in New York, I think.
Power 97.5, right? So, so am I here? Am I not?
Yeah, you're here. I always jump in. If somebody freezes, I always jump in. Real quick, Pac, but at the time, were you working at La Caliente, or where were you working?
I was not. I was actually starting to DJ. I was at a Spanish station. But remember that my family owned the music shop selling CDs and stuff. So Rick Verdugo hired me because I knew Spanish music and I knew a little bit of English music as the program director for Power 97.5.
Okay, so what was the Spanish station you were working at? Was that Pantera or?
No, I think it was called La Única, maybe. But remember, I'm in this limbo that for Mexicans, I'm a gringo, I'm a Mexican. So I was at a Spanish station, but my Spanish
sounded very Castilian. I know, I remember.
I'm just a gringo, right? So So that's how I started.
But I feel like you always felt that way, Pac. But on the South Side, no one treated you that way. I'm being honest with you. On the South Side, no one treated you that way. But you would always say things like that, and because you went to private school and you grew up around white people and stuff like that. But I'm telling you the truth. When we were in the hood, like, there was no one that looked at you any different than they looked at all the rest of us. You know what I mean? That were from the hood or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like. I'm being honest. Well, crap. Now we're going off on some crazy tangents. All right, Pac, come on. You're supposed to be telling the story. You're letting me interrupt.
So Power 97.5 started, and we started as a Spanglish station, like just like Hot 98.3
like
was.
Caliente?
La Caliente, right? But then we figured out, you know what? We need to be different. There's already a station like that, so let's just go straight. We did the hip hop, R&B, and the freestyle, which is the freestyle that just stood us apart.
Stood you apart because they put them DJs on like
and all that stuff. Awesome. I mean, we had Chico and myself, and then we added Vicky Valle, and then we had Melissa, the Midday Mamacita, and then we had R Dub, and then we had Rich Donovan. And then Fred Rico was doing overnights, but we're like, he's too good. I mean, this guy is like my hero. So he became my music director, and then there's a long story behind that. You guys touched.
Wait, when did Rascal come in? When did Rascal come in?
Rascal didn't come in not until towards the middle of Power 97.5, and then to Hot 98.3, and then he moved over to Sacramento.
No, I remember him going to SAC because that's how I got my job there. But so we are missing all these comments, man. Can we hold on?
Paco, Paco, I'll get you hired on. No.
That's what he said, Pac. I didn't make that up.
Right, yeah.
I promise you I didn't make that up, Paco. Why would I make some crazy stuff up like that?
I promise you there was nothing going through me unless Frederico would say, hey, we got to get this guy on. And we loved Rascal. So no, and I loved you. So there's no.
All right,
no,
come on.
No,
let's get back. Let's get back.
All right,
no, he didn't say F word, Paco. I can't say what he said because we don't curse on the show. Don't worry about it. All right. It was kind of like saying F word. What Paco said is in slang. You know how Rascal talked that weird slang. All right. Anyways, back to saying. So in Power 97.5, man, that sounds like a dream team. You had Dub, and as much as I hate all these people, I don't hate all these people, but I bet you can guess the ones that I'm not the biggest fans of. Well, there's only one that I'm not the biggest fan of. Dub, Chico, you, Rascal at the end, Fred Rico, and Melissa. But Andy wasn't around, huh? Andy was at La Caliente, wasn't he?
Andy was on the dark side.
Yeah. Because you guys had some cool jocks. I'm like, how come all the... Then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Hector Yutzi, Andy. Okay, that makes sense.
We sort of inherited them, and we sort of had to have them.
No, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. But if you notice, slowly but surely, we eased everybody out. Federico and I had a plan. So slowly but surely, we eased everybody out and eased everybody in.
All right, hold on, because we're still at Power 97.5. So now you guys all just these rebels starting this station, like a ground up station essentially, because there'd only been an AM hip hop station. Then there was La Caliente. And then now there's Power 97.5, and you guys are like, all right, we're gonna come out guns blazing. Was there a budget for this station? Was there a street team, or was it like hot?
Bro, everybody, this is back in the day when there was a love for radio.
Yeah.
We all worked 100 hours a week and got paid 20 hours because we wanted to win. We loved each other. We wanted to kick everybody's ass.
Yeah.
And we did the guerrilla street team, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
Didn't care.
Radio. Yeah.
We didn't care, and we had a great team. it started slow, but slowly but surely, Rick Verdugo's got a lot of great stories off the air, right? But he let me, put this team together, and what a great team it was, man.
Yeah, man. So, all rock stars.
Man.
Yeah. Great
team.
Yeah, all rock stars. So then now Dub turns into a traitor, obviously, of some form. I'm not going to say which person out of that crew I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't know. I can't be mean, because here's why. Hopefully we'll get Dub on this show. But anyways, back to what we're saying. So Chris Pearson, love the stories. Chris, this was my old boss when I was in radio. His name is Paco Jacobo. But anyways, all right. So I'm assuming Dub flipped. Oh, no, Dub didn't flip first, did he? Did Dub flip first?
Yeah, Dub was at, I believe he was at Hot, and we brought him over as for the afternoon, and that's
okay. How did you guys get to Hot? So what happened there? How did this work?
Well, because Power 97.5 was being sold to Citadel, so I believe it was Citadel. Yeah. So what happened there is, I told Chico, hey, our only option right now is to go to Hot, and let me go over there and try to talk to your homie, Alan Herman. And let me try to see if I could be the program director over there and put our morning show over there, and then we'll go from there and start building that station to what Power 97.5 was. And we had a great team. We had, I believe, we had a good morning show. So how could he say no?
You guys had a great morning show
compared to what they had.
No, you had a great morning show. You just needed a producer. Like, if you guys would have brought me,
that's where you came in.
I know, but if Chico was still there, if it would have been you and Chico and I was just the producer, that would have been an insane morning show. That morning show would have been, I'm telling the truth. That morning show would have been like, all right, we're done now. You guys ready to be syndicated? Like, but anyways, we're talking about things they don't know about. So you and Chico go over. So you went over to Alan Herman. You start schmoozing. And you're like, look, I don't know if you realize this, but Jacobo, I have Jewish roots. Maybe we could get together. L'chaim. I know you do. How do you think I know these stories? We spent day and night together for years, or for at least 2 years. Is this how you're schmoozing the guy, by the way? And then
they.
All right, for real though, like, but did you know that what was our old boss's name? That old corny guy, Art LeBeau. Did you know Art LeBeau?
No.
Did you know Art LeBeau owned?
Yes, I did. I did. And so I schmoozed Alan Herman, and then we made a deal going over there, and then we started the morning show, and everybody at Hot was mad at us, and what the hell are you guys doing over here? And eventually we flipped the station to Power 97.5 to Hot 98.3, and one of my things was, dude, I could program Spanish stations and English stations, and I could do your morning show at Hot. I mean, how much money are you going to save here? Oh, they come on. So we got there, and that's how it all started. And slowly but surely, we started taking the Spanish music out, and then we became Hot 98.3, the people station, right? And Chico came up with that one, and he made the logo and all that stuff. So so that was the transition from Power 97.5 to Hot 98.3, and then we started bringing everybody over.
Hey, now Paco, though, did Alan Herman actually give you free reign pretty much on Caliente?
It was Art LeBeau, not Alan Herman.
Art LeBeau made the call then. He said, do what you need to do.
Yeah, so I talked to Art LeBeau. People can say what they want about him, but a great guy.
Really? Because I was about to bag on him, man. You're ruining my comedy.
Yeah, a great guy. When he would come and visit us, he would tell us stories about Elvis Presley and his girlfriends and all that stuff, and Playboy bunnies and all that stuff. And we would never talk about radio. We would just sit there. Remember, I transitioned to that big office, and we would sit there and just talk to our LeBeau and just laugh all freaking day.
Dude, Art owned the building above the Comedy Store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. In downtown LA.
Wow.
Well, Terry Scott told me he used to own or owns a bunch of property on Sunset Strip.
Dude, I have not heard that guy's name in 1,000 years, bro. Terry Scott. All right, hold on real quick, Pac. So let's get back to this. How did you meet Chico?
Chico, when we started Power 97.5, I can't remember how. Manic Hispanic, I believe, because he was going to do the morning show, but then he decided not to, whatever. But he was friends with Chico, and Rick Verdugo and I interviewed Chico, and we hired him as a DJ. And then, man, I can't remember who our morning show was. Oh, what's that lady's name? Bucky.
Bro, I don't remember anybody's names from back then.
It was like Rich Donovan and somebody, and then we're like, Rich Donovan is great. Rich Donovan is great. Let's put him at nights. And then I'm like, Chico, you and I get along great together. Let's do the morning show. I told Rick Verdugo, hey, me and Chico are going to do the morning show. Do it. Just get it done. And that's how that started.
So how did you meet him? You met him at the station?
Well, we interviewed him as an on-air on-air DJ. He came from Phoenix. He was a graduate from ASU, and he wanted to be on the radio. And Manic Hispanic had referred him. James Rivas had referred him to us to get him on the air. That's how I met Chico.
Oh,
yeah, that was amazing too. Chico was more behind the scenes. He wrote a lot of stuff too, right?
Yeah, Chico's a freaking phenomenal man. Smart.
Writer, a good writer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he did really good stuff. Very smart man. I think he's a yogi now, bro.
What?
Yeah, a yogi.
What is that?
I was about to ask a yogi,
That's
bro.
Like yoga, like
teaches yoga. Yeah.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, these chinitos, they don't know nothing, Pac. I'm telling you right now. Chinitos, you think they're supposed to be smart, but
chinitos. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways, so
hey, really quick, how about when you used to go down to Huero Canelo and bring us burritos in the morning? Oh,
dude, those burritos were the bomb.
The best.
All right, I want to keep this moving along, but I'm going to tell you a quick one. Pac used to give me $20, and he'd say, "Hey, look, go get a coffee at the Circle K." And I go, "Okay." And he'd say, "And then get yourself something also." And I'd be like, "All right." Then I'd come back and he'd be like, "Where's my change?" And I'd be like, "Here's $1.20." And he'd be like, "You spent all my money on snacks." I always love them. Big old dude. I was 260 pounds, folks. Paco fattened me up, man. I promise you that. All right, let's get back to the story. So you go and you schmooze Alan Herman. Then and then did you talk to the whole team over at Power and just be like, "Look, you guys, we're all making this move. We're going in, we're clinching, and then F those nerds, we're bouncing them." Is that how it was or what?
Yes, but just be patient. It's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take time because not that I didn't like the other guys, great guys. I can't even remember. They were all Mike B's and Mark B's and DJ this and
Hector,
DJ that.
Yeah, Hector. It was Hector. It was Andy. It was
just good guys. Good guys.
Cool guys. Nice enough.
But just wasn't the fit for what we wanted to do.
They weren't hip hop. They weren't hip hop.
Right. No, they were too Spanglish for what we wanted to do. Although we were Spanglish, but we were more, I want to say, English side than the Spanish side, and that's what we wanted to create, is more of the Mexican American feel than the Mexican feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then you didn't want it to be a Wacho station. You wanted it to be a station for Mexican Americans. For for second, third generation Mexican Americans.
Right. And we couldn't do that if we kept the same DJs. So we had to change it. Yes, there was one or two that we couldn't move. They were sort of golden cows, but we eventually got them. We eventually got them out.
That's a great term. But now let me ask you this real quick. Power 97.5, how long was that even on the air?
Max 2 years.
It was on for a couple of years. Were you there from the jump for the whole 2 years?
I was there from the very beginning before it even.
Adley, while he's frozen, does it seem like we're listening to a wise old man right now?
It's so much wisdom coming from Paco.
I know, this is amazing. This is awesome. Like
so many great memories too.
Like we are. This might be super boring for you, and I could care less. This is one of the best things. I like. This is like a therapy session, bro. This like, dude. How do we get to live this life where it's just like, hey, guess what? You two were in radio for a little bit together, and now you get to broadcast on the internet to everybody, and then you get to just hang out with your old program director.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Amazing.
This is phenomenal. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm the most blessed person you've ever seen in your life, Pac. I 100%, I promise you I am. But I still want to hear this story because it's super fascinating. And it's, well, not only is it super fascinating, like me and Adley are kind of honored that we were part of the story. Do you agree with me on this, Ad, when you're hearing about these legends?
There's no doubt, because that's, and that's kind of why I talk about Power 97.5, 2 years. That's when other companies started noticing that this is something that's real, because before that there was no hip hop station. There was nothing. Nope. The only thing you had was La Caliente, Hot 98 FM, and it was what, one hip hop song every 5 songs, or
and then Selena, and then Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, and all that.
And it wasn't even Mexican music; it was Tejano music. So it was Pocho music. So it just didn't jive, and that's why at Power 97.5, when we started that, we're like, no, F this, we can't. Let's go hip hop, freestyle, and old school.
Yeah, that's perfect, and it totally worked. What were the ratings coming out kind of towards the end of the 2 years?
This is a great Bakersfield.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What were the ratings coming out when you got to 2 years? I mean, once you got into it, after a couple years.
I believe at the end, at our peak, I believe we were a top 5 station in Bakersfield.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes,
in
with
Tucson.
a weak signal in Tucson.
Tucson,
with a
real weak signal.
Yeah, but, and that's when people started watching and looking like, hey, this is for real. Yeah.
All right. So
just remember this. One of the best highlights of Power 97.5 is going live at the Outback on Friday nights. How cool was that?
Oh, that's Was that the Pachanga? The Friday night Pachanga?
I think so.
Yeah, that was. I remember that. I remember that. Oh yeah, that was great.
All right. So we start going over to Hot 98.3, and we squat up. Obviously, you squat up. You got this dream team, and you're like, bro, guess what? I got a dream team. I'm about to drop hammers. And you go in there, you just start dropping chingazos, and they're like, all right, that's it. You win. All right, hold on a sec, though. Wow, now, because I'm like, I don't want to bring that story up. There's one story that always rings in my head, but it's a sour story. And one thing you've taught me through all this I'm listening to you is there's no time for sourness anymore.
No.
So all these you want to know what the crazy part is, Pac? Yeah. I'm a very successful businessman. I have a beautiful wife. My children are amazing. And I still hold on to radio bitterness on rivalries. Like I still see certain people as a rival. It's like, dude, I'm not even in the same business as this person. Yeah, but F word that person. So what I see from tonight from you is the sweetness. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this, Sketch. I love you. I love Adley. I love everybody. There's not too much hate that I have in my life. I could tell you 1 or 2 people that do not belong in my life, but because of them, I'm where I'm at now. So I can't hate them that much, right? So, Sketch, you were not fired because I didn't want you there. You were fired because of the transition. We were going over to Clear Channel. And if you notice, Chico was gone. You were gone. Everybody else is gone. Then I was gone. And I was just like a token going over there to be on a Tejano station just because I had a gig, but that wasn't for me. So it wasn't because of you, Sketch. It was corporate. So so don't hold bitterness towards me because of corporate decisions. And there's just stuff now that as a boss, that there's stuff that you just got to do, although it breaks your heart, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
Pac, man, hold on. I'm sorry. I see, this is how come I hate this F word chingazo, bro. Like, how am I supposed to broadcast with? Just kidding. Pac, I want to say this. Like, I apologize for any hatred I have for you, man. I'm being honest with you. I apologize for any bad thing I've ever said about you. And as a boss, because here's why. Well, it's crazy because right when me and Ad were about to start this thing, we were on a phone call with my friend Zach. And so every Wednesday, I have a friend, his name's Zach. He's a brilliant guy. Every Wednesday, we go on a phone call and we talk about blockchain, or we talk about the stock market, and he actually started a homeless ministry with me, and now he's working on blockchain technology. But anyways, so me and Ad were talking with him, and we're kicking around this idea of starting a podcast. And Adlai got to the part where he took my job and he apologized to me. He was just like, Mike, I just want to apologize. I was like, Adlai, that was 21 years ago. Let me tell you a crazy story real quick, Pac, and then I really want to get back to this Hot 98.3 story. I didn't talk to anyone from Hot after I got fired. And then when I found the Lord, I was like, I'm moving. Like, I came here on a mission trip. I'm like out of everybody's life. And I wasn't even talking to Adlai. And Potato Head sent me an email. I don't know how Potato Head found my email. Potato Head sent me an email, and he was like, "Hey man, what's cracking?" And he kept sending me emails. And then finally he was like, "When was the last time you talked to Adlai?" And I was like, "Oh man, I don't talk to Adlai. Forget Adlai." And then he wrote me back a real somber email, and he was like, "That was your friend. That was your brother. You need to get a hold of him." And I felt like, oh my gosh, he's right.
Potato Head.
I know, huh? And then me and Adlai started talking. So yeah, so it was, I'm telling you, it was just like a month and a half ago that Adlai apologized for taking the job. And I'm like, Ad, what were you gonna do? What were you gonna do? You were gonna be on a morning show. You're a DJ. Who doesn't want to be on a morning show? Yeah. I knew that I was training you. I knew I was training you because you were in the studio with me. So what were you gonna do, Ad? And Pac, I'll say that to you. You know what I mean? Bro, the part that people don't get is you didn't have Mike Ichimura. You had Sketch. That was a way different person. As wild as I pretend to be on videos and stuff like that, I really do have two great kids and a beautiful wife. And she's a doctor. And she's a weta. And she comes from one of those neighborhoods you only see on television. Neither here nor there. I know. But it's not great having a family like that on the other side, though. But anyways, neither here nor there. You had to make a decision that was very difficult. Yeah. And that decision that you had to make that was very difficult wasn't to this kind-hearted, loving Christian man. It was to a very bitter kid. Remember, bro, I used to smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes. I used to always be angry because we didn't have, what KRQ had. I had a bitter hatred to KRQ. I feel bad that you had to work with me. Like every day you had to come to work to this bitter guy, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing. Like, and I also, as I'm like thinking through how I train, how I stay with people, like Brandon, go ahead and put that comment up real quick. Okay. Adlai, I apologize. And Ad, I'm sorry, I'm really dominating this, and I apologize because I just want to get this out with Paco. Yeah. So Brandon, to me, Pac, is what I was to you when I was young. So I take Brandon with me everywhere, right? Dude, me and Brandon, when my dad died, we flew to LA together, and then we drove back the car all the way back to Pittsburgh, and he'd never been out of Pittsburgh before. But anyways, awesome. Yeah. So as I was thinking about having you on the show, and I was thinking about our life together, I was like, I remember you telling me, Sketch, the reason why I spend so much time with you is because I need you to think like me. So that way we'll collaborate well on the air, and we'll collaborate well with music. And we would just spend hours together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the thing is like you weren't the guy you are now. No offense to young Paco, But you were wilder then, you know what I mean? And it was like the mafia. It was like the freaking mafia. In fact, I remember I even asked you one time, Pac, would you rather be in the mafia or would you rather be a program director? And you know what you told me? You said, what's the difference? That's what you told me. All right, come on. Let's get to this story. I'm being totally honest with you, Adley. I said, Pac, because he used to love The Sopranos. Remember, he come and talk about The Sopranos.
Remember that?
And so finally, one day I said, Pac, and cause I'd had an earful of it because I'm like, I'm not buying HBO. So finally, I was like, Pac, because he's telling me how dope Tony Soprano's life is. So I was like, all right, fine, man. What's better, to be in the mafia or to be a program director? And he paused for like a 3 beat, and he goes, what's the difference?
That is
all
great.
right, so you brought the squad over. You know I'm not stupid. Don't try to pull that. You brought the squad over, right? I mean, and these are all rock stars. Now it starts fracturing, obviously, when Dub bounces. So how does that work?
That was the whole corporate takeover. Dub went over to KRQ for a reason, because they were taking over Hot 98.3, and they were so when that happened, Dub became the program director. Mark Medina became the program director, and then R-Dub became the program director, and then they just eased us all out.
All right, so you're at Hot, you've got the dream team, and then Dub left over to KRQ. Now, do you think that's the beginning of when KRQ started or Clear Channel started the kind of merge to trying to take us out?
It was absolutely absolutely the merge.
Oh my gosh! All right, so Dub bounces, and you and Chico aren't well. So Dub bounces. Rascal's doing drive time. D Wayne's doing overnights. And D Wayne was Chico's homeboy. Melissa was doing middays. Andy was doing drive. Good luck getting rid of him, Sacred Cow. And you and Chico were doing the morning show. All right. So now Rascal was shopping his tape. Fred was your music director, but he didn't have it. He just did like on the air, like Father Chino every once in a while. Fred's going to Hawaii. And
hate you, Fred.
Fred's going to Hawaii, and then Rascal goes next. But before that, you guys you got to build up your program directors. Like, how did you meet? Or I mean, your record reps, your indies. How did you meet the guys? How did you meet all these indies and record reps?
The record reps just came with the territory, because the record reps would call the program directors to get their music played. You're right. So, and then the indies were basically a middleman between the program director and the record labels. So the indies would get paid for any song that would get played, and the indies would pay the radio station for promotional materials, t-shirt. That's why we had so many freaking t-shirts. T-shirts and stickers and CDs. We had boxes and boxes of CDs and t-shirts. Remember, we just had boxes and boxes of t-shirts.
Yeah, and then like all kinds of like weird stuff too, like weird toys that were related to the album cover, and like just all kinds of swag. And then the rest would come down and buy us lunch. That was the best.
That was the best. That was the best. But that's just part of the territory, right? So if everybody knows about it, it's cool, right? There's
that's what you used to always tell me personally about payola.
There's nothing illegal about it. It's what's illegal is when you don't let your general manager know what's going on. Right.
Like he used to give you this same speech when you were in radio.
No, it was. I even remember like all the paperwork you had to do just to get CDs. I mean, there was a whole huge process, and I felt like, I don't know if this came on later, but definitely in Bakersfield, you actually had to go to the GM and he had to sign the paperwork. Like you couldn't be the program director, the promotions director. You had to be the GM to sign off on stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a big deal, So that's how that worked.
All right,
the record labels are just like a grocery store, right? You want your food on the end, whatever
on the end
it's
cap.
called.
All right, so
yeah.
So now you guys are you guys went to conferences and stuff, right? You and Fred. Okay, how many conferences did you guys go to?
Maybe 2 or 3 a year.
Wow. Those are the best.
And back then there was a lot more too. I feel like they've kind of slowed down, but you had
there was a lot more, but with all the consolidation, the record labels going into one, it all really stopped, and it was just in between the big mergers between that, and then the program directors really got away from all that and everything. But how about that San Francisco trip with Pink and Mary J. Blige?
Yeah. Dude, do you remember it?
Mary J. Blige coming up to the table, and she comes up to me. That's what the time when she was really on drugs. She's like, "What's up, Paco?"
You remember that trip, dude? Yeah, dude, Dub was sitting across the way from us, and he was wearing his KRQ jersey, and then that's when I realized, I'm like, "Oh, you bought that jersey." Like, you bought us all jerseys, Pac. You bought us all those baseball jerseys, and you were like, if they're gonna have these over at KRQ, we're gonna have them over at Hot. You understand? And I was like, word, man. And then we got over there to the conference, and they didn't buy them for everyone at KRQ. Only like 3 of their jocks had them.
Not us. Everybody had them.
Yeah, no, like. Dude, here's the part that always drove me nuts about you, but give me a sec, because we're still in the middle of this. So you guys are going to conferences. Now you're going to Hot, and it's starting to splinter because Dub takes off, and that's their strategic move to try to take over Hot. And they fought for years to try to do that, man. That was a long game. All right, now you got Rascal in Night, and Fred applies to Hawaii. So did Fred tell you he was applying to Hawaii, or did he just kind of like spring it on you like, hey, I'm going to Hawaii?
No, Fred and I are like brothers, so we talked about it, and he told me about it, and how happy and blessed am I that he was able to take that next step to such a big market. I couldn't be mad. I was very sad, but how happy was I for him he deserves it. He's one of the best program directors I know.
Hey,
I don't know, bro. You're a pretty good program director. Go ahead.
Remember, his big claim to fame was "It Wasn't Me," Shaggy. Remember, that was an album cut, and he started playing that, and then it blew up. And and Frederico, when he went over to Hawaii too, he went to a big company at the time. It was AM/FM, which became Citadel. Which one did that become? It was a part of a big company.
Dude, I believe it was Clear Channel.
Maybe you're right. It was Clear Channel.
It was a strategic move to take him out of Hot,
so he wouldn't be at
Hot anymore. So they took him over to Hawaii. But I mean, what a smart move! What a great program director. So so who could blame him? But
now I'm starting to understand. Now I'm starting to understand. Okay, I wish I would have known all this back then. So. Now Rascal's going to Sacramento. All right. So I'm positive Rascal kept that from you for a long time until it was pretty clinched, right? Or no?
No, he kept it from me. Yeah, no, he didn't. He sprung it on me, and I was a little upset, but again, great for him from Tucson to Sacramento. Wow. Great.
Yeah, and even before he was on Hot 98.3, remember where he came from? He had the public access show too.
He worked at the public access show. He was a grinder.
Yeah. And it was more my feelings got hurt. Like, dude, why wouldn't you tell me? I don't understand. Why leave me hanging? What did I do so you could leave me hanging? I don't understand, because all I wish is the best for everybody. Yeah, would I be sad? Would I be a little mad? Yeah, sure. But that's just human nature.
Okay, so now
Rascal's amazing too.
Yeah. So now, now Rascal was putting in, but at that point you met me and Adlai over at the Bugsies, and yeah, and Adlai had given you a copy of Too Strong and Poppin', and so you asked him if he wanted to work, and you put him on the weekends. So Adlai's doing weekend overnights, Dwayne is doing overnights, Rascal was doing the 7 to midnight. Once again, Andy B. I don't know how you couldn't get rid of him. He's doing the drive. And then we've got, I know I'm being mean.
He's so nice. Andy, rest in peace.
Andy was great. He was a great guy, but he was corny. But anyways, going back to what I'm saying, sorry, I'm being really mean. And then you had Melissa in the midday. Okay. Now Rascal's about to bounce. Adlai, you picked up from Too Strong Entertainment. And then you're like, okay, I can flip Dwayne into the evening. And I thought that was a pretty strategic move. Like now that I'm old and I look at things, I'm like, okay, I understand what this guy had to do. So you flip him, you put him in the evening. And then you bring Adlai for the overnight. But then Adlai was doing that sexy voice. You remember that?
Yes.
What's up with that? I gotta find some air checks. I gotta find some of that stuff too. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Why? Fred and I would sit there and be like, why? I
remember doing see Fred bagging on you for that.
I remember like, I'm doing air check sessions.
And Juliet.
Good times. But and here's another Paco tidbit of advice. And I remember, when I was doing the sexy voice, I'd be like, Paco would say straight up, dude, just freaking use your regular voice, just talking to them. All right, but every time people call, they say I sound good and stuff. Girls will call and I sound good. And he's like, dude, either they're large or they're crazy. Just don't. And another thing was, and then I'd be like, yeah, but they're telling me I sound good. And he's like, dude, you're on the radio. Of course you sound good. And Paco was the ego crusher. But it was for your own good. It was for your own good, dude. It put me in check, right. And after I was like, all right, that makes sense.
All my staff
with the listeners.
To all my staff, yeah, that's what he always say. And then he always try to encourage me to do it. I'm like, bro, that was a rule. It's like not for the morning show though. Back to what I'm saying. For all my staff at Tiny Box Vape Shop. If I ever get mad and yell at you, I promise you I won't insult you as bad as this man used to insult the two of us. So, all right.
Oh so yeah, now, it was military level put down to put you in check, to be like, all right. And it was more of a reminder, like, dude, you know how many people want your job? There's a lot. And Paco, you remember, I called you every day for 6 months, like, dude, I'm ready. Give me a job, work. I remember, I think we finally met. Look at that. Yeah, what's up, Miranda? Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Randy, we're gonna do the Too Strong. I promised we're gonna do the Too Strong episode. It's just been hectic. Pac, that was one of the girls that was in our crew when you met Adlai from Too Strong, Too Strong and Poppin'. Yeah, so anyway, so you bring Ad on and then on the overnights. And at that time, I was working for MTV as the local stringer. I interviewed Rascal. You heard the F Paco story. And I'm not saying that Rascal had the influence to force you to hire me, but I did get hired, which was nice. So, but Pac, I'd already interviewed with you, as Adlai probably had, and you were like, okay, well, thank you. You walked me out. Now that I think about it, Adlai, I lied to you. I told you I never had to play an air check for anybody. I did for Paco. Yeah, for Paco, when he didn't hire me. I forgot about that. He interviewed me. I played my air check for him, and he was like, okay, thank you.
Were they bits that you'd putting together?
I don't know. It's probably really whack, bro. I don't know. Pac's walking around and goes, I got to talk to your friend Adlai. He keeps trying to say the F word on the radio, okay? And I was like, that guy's not going to hire me. And then, and so that's why when Rascal told me, he's like, you want to work, talk to Paco. I was like, dude, that guy's not going to hire me. But anyway, so now I'm weekends. So I do weekend overnights. And I remember, dude, you guys did not let me crack the mic for the first 3 weeks. Like the first 3 weeks, I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? You're like, just play sweepers. No, hey, you know what? There's this one sweeper that we've had for 3 years. And if you play it, then girls will call. Man, I play that sweeper every single break. Still no girls. These are lying to me. But anyways, yeah.
You know the reason behind that, right? You need to learn how to work the board before you crack the mic.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I never thought about that. Dude, you never taught us what you were doing with your wax on, wax off stuff like that. So like my guys at the shop, I always teach them, this is why I'm doing this. You just threw us into it. You know what I mean? Like, but anyways, so, but it's okay, Pac, trust me. You taught us well. Anyways, getting back to what I'm saying. So, so now you and Chico are doing the morning show, and like you guys start arguing and stuff. And Rascal, before he bounces, I was like, bro, look, I got these morning show ideas. And Rascal was the one that told me, take him to Paco, take him to Paco, take him to Paco. And you and Chico start arguing. Now, while this is going on, Adley is doing the sexy overnight. And he's like, listen, Sketch, I got to tell you something, because we're living together. There's only room for one star in this house, okay? So you're going to have to move down the way. Or, I'm just kidding, Adley. You never said that.
But you did move down the way.
I did move down the way, but that's because you said you don't want to be like Ernie and Bert, and I moved down the way. And it was before we worked at Hot 98.3. So yeah, it was before we worked there. But anyways, so you and Chico are arguing. So now how does this work that you decided to bring me on the morning show?
First of all, me and Chico never argued. We'd have conversations, but we were so close that we would have conversations but never argue. And
real quick, I never heard an argument. I just assumed. Please continue.
No, never an argument. I brought you on because Chico got fired by your bro,
Potato Head.
Alan?
No, otro pendejo. Yeah, Ellen. Yeah. So it's without letting me know. So I didn't know about it, but that was part of the whole corporate takeover. But that took a while for that to happen. So it was, well, you were my producer for about a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's when I brought you on because I needed you. I mean, I had Vicky and I had Speedy, but I didn't have.
No, you didn't have Speedy yet. We worked Speedy into it. You and I worked Speedy into it because you had Frank. So you were doing Frankie, and then I thought it'd be your funny.
Help. I couldn't program director for two. Yeah, I couldn't program the 2 radio stations, do the morning show. Fred's gone, do all this, and I needed you. So I said, well, come on in. He's got experience. Let's do this.
But I didn't have experience in production. I learned, I didn't know how to produce. I didn't know how to work.
You had to?
Well, that's what you told me. You're like, okay,
you didn't,
digital audio tape.
Mike, you knew how to produce, just not on that high quality, high tech equipment that we had, like the Shortcut or the Gold Wave, the one track.
I'll tell you what, the highlight of your producing career was Aaliyah Seance.
That was me.
That was you?
That was me.
That was you?
That was the time. Paco played it. And I remember it was
Adley, these Mexicans confuse all the same Asians for each other. They think we look alike. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was sure it was Sketch.
That was me. And I remember because Aaliyah passed away and we played it. And I remember Paco looking at me, are you sure? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was kind of where I took some clips from Aaliyah, like, oh, you're kind of, you
did like the Dick Paco thing.
Kind of, yeah. Paco would be like, oh, thank you. And dude, we got death threats. It was bad. Even Earn Dollars was like, after he's like, man, I don't think you guys should have done that. And
that is bananas.
It was August. It was late August, like August 25th or something like that.
Well, all right. So for everybody, for everybody who's kind of like trying to figure out what we're talking about. So at this stage, because we just dropped the story where me and Adley jumped in. So at this stage, what happens is they fire Chico apparently, and I've never really known that story. And then me and Ad come on, and me and Ad are like, just so hungry. We will do anything at any time for any reason because we want to be in radio. We were starving. So we'd stay from like we'd hang out at the morning show, and then we'd stay out till Dwayne's show. And then we'd go out and be the street team and just throw out CDs, give out T-shirts, give out stickers. Like, we did whatever we could. Now, here's the crazy part, Pac. I could never figure out why you weren't hungry. And now that I'm hearing this story, I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, let's go. Let's bang against KRQ. Who cares? And you'd be like, Sketch, they have a big balloon. Remember that time we went to U of A and it was supposed to be our day on the U of A quad, and KRQ was there, and you're like, come on, Sketch, let's go. And I was like, no, let's put up our tent. Let's bang. You're like, bro, look at that balloon they have. Look, they've got 20 banners. They've got way better stuff to give away. Let's just go. And I was like, man, I want to fight. I want to fight. But what I didn't know was you little by little were getting pulled apart this entire time. Like, I didn't know that, Pac.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many different things that are coming at you. I mean, you've got the sales department hitting you up. You got, jocks you've got mixers that are probably, there's some good ones, but a lot of them are a pain in the butt. And you've got all these different things. And then you got me and Mike probably being idiots. Then you got Malik.
Yeah, yeah, you had that dream team, and now you got me and Ad and Malik's. Man, you're probably like, what am I supposed to do with these guys?
And you think about it too. I mean, come on, KRQ, Clear Channel across the street. They had a promo team that wasn't on the air and only did promotions. That was shocking to me. That I was even talking to some guy yesterday that worked at Hits Magazine, and we're talking. I was like, yeah, back in the day, we got a $50 talent fee, and we're just and we thought that was a great fat bonus back in the day, but little did we know. Well, we learned later. Wait. Those guys across the street make how much for talent fees? And then, you're just like, oh my goodness, too. Yeah, that was crazy.
But as you know, Mike and Adelaide, there are certain people that you can count on, and I can always count on you too. You have employees, Mike, that you have employees that you can count on. You could call them, and they're down.
Oh, my team is raw, bro. My team's got my back. I got a real good squad.
Right. Don't let them mistake your kindness for weakness, because don't lose any sleep over.
No, don't feel bad about that, bro. Trust me. Yeah, trust me. They're not going to tell you. If you talk to them, they're going to tell you, oh, no, Mike, we don't mistake his kindness for weakness, because I'll light up. Like, if I get mad, then I start getting a little ghetto, and I'm like, oh, man. But most of the kids I hire are from the hood, so that way, like, and I'm giving them opportunity, because we pay commission, and we pay well. I'm giving them opportunity so they're able to, buy nice purses for their wives, and, have a steak for dinner instead of, ramen. Like, that's really where God's blessed me in this place, in this space. And then the fun part is, with social media, I get to be a producer again. Because, like, I would drive down the road sometimes, and I'd come up with these bits, and I'd be like, man, this bit's worthless because I have nothing to do with it. It's like, oh, now I can just put it on Facebook, or I can put it on YouTube, so it's dope. But anyways, all right, so let's get to me and Ad, because we're really long, and Adelaide's got to wrap. We got to hard out. So Adelaide, we get there, and now you obviously, Pac, the story. So we become the Chino brothers, and you're hanging out every day with me. Now, is your heart just broken every day? Like, man, this sucks, because I know that no matter what I do, Clear Channel is going to take our legs out.
Yes, in a way, but I knew we couldn't give up, because there was this little chance maybe we would go over there and do something, but obviously that there was zero chance.
Oh yeah, I remember too, Paco, when Art LeBeau came in and pulled us all in the conference room.
I remember he was wearing a white suit, and you made fun of him, Adelaide, because he had a pea spot on it. But go on, please.
It was some kind of stain. I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of stain. But I remember Paco being like, "Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't good." I remember, like, because I think Vicky was kind of like, "Sweet, we're all gonna get raises, and it's gonna be beautiful. They're gonna talk about," but no, it was the opposite, and it was a yucky, awful meeting. And the crazy part is, at this time in the early 2000s, whenever it was, Clear Channel was buying everything. So our story,
and they told us they weren't going to change anything too. Remember, they were like, yeah, we're not going to change anything. You can call these other radio stations. And dude, we walked out of the meeting, and Dwayne was like, what if we called that hip hop station that they bought in San Antonio, and we called, and they were like, hello, Christian hits. And we all just started laughing. We all just started laughing. And then Pac was like, oh, that's not going to happen to us. And then you took us to O'Malley's for lunch. Yeah. We had hamburgers at O'Malley's. Wow. And I was like, this is weird. I'm like, this is weird. And you're like, oh, yeah. Sketch was about to biz ounce and all this. And I was just like, all right, man, I still want to get out of here. I don't trust these people. I don't trust these people.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's insane too.
It's bananas. But then you and Adley have a history. Now, Ad, you want to wrap that real quick and then
we'll dip into that too. Yeah, because even after that, I mean, I stuck around. And even Mark Medina, I remember telling me like, Adley, we're going to keep you on as like kind of a part-time fill-in guy. And I'm kind of like, well, all right. And I remember him saying like, don't get all upset and angry and start marking up the walls and stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. All right, we'll stick around. And we moved over
marking up the walls,
like tagging it up or something, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not that dude. Because I was angry, I guess, because he'd experienced people getting laid off or demoted or whatever, so but
Paco tagged up the wall.
And I was kind of floating around doing that, and I can hear my mom saying, Adley, when are you going to get a real job? And that time came. I was like, I guess I'm getting a real job at this point. And then Paco, you moved to Bakersfield not long after, right? And then I was hitting him up like, man, I'm doing this club stuff over here, and you're like, hey, I got this club, come over and promote it, whatever. So I started doing that. I was driving, flying. I was doing all that stuff for a while. And you had that music director. I can't remember her name, but
Moni.
Yeah. The one and only. Moni, the one and only. Yeah. Yeah. So you had that station over there, and you'd already brought over Mucho Martinez and DJ Concept. That's a whole nother story there.
Was that the morning show?
No, that was
the morning show was whack. Like it's like Dirty Sanchez or something, wasn't it? I saw that when you guys went over there.
Yeah, it was Mingo and Dirty, I think was the show. And then we were talking about it, and she moved on to another. She went to go to La Calle in LA or something, so she got a promotion.
Yeah, she did La Calle. Yeah, good
and Paco's. Yeah, she was sweet. She was great, super nice. And you were like, hey, I'm like, you looking for somebody? And you're like, yes, dude, I need a music director, APD type person. And I was like, let's do it. So went out there, moved out there, stayed at Paco's house for a little bit. Remember, I'd crashed at your pad over off of Bell Terrace.
Oh yeah.
I remember I crashed over there, and I was like, let's do this, man. So that was an experience in itself, for the fact that it reminded me a lot of Big Broadcast. In the fact that because I was working at Clear Channel, and I got, even though I was a part-timer, still got remotes here and there, and you get to drive the fancy SUV with the station logo, and you had a team set up for you. The tent was out there, the prizes, the table set up. All right, here's the mic, and you're like, sweet, do call-ins, I'm getting real money. And then we go out to KBDS, and I was like, hey, Adley, you got a remote at the tire shop, and I'm all right, cool. Here's the keys, and here's the key for the storage, because you got to get the van and probably load up everything. And I was like, dude, did I just go back in time? What happened? Yes. It was insane. Yes. And God bless that station, because that
now, was there a homeless guy? A lot of fun. Was there a homeless guy that lived behind the radio station there as well, or no?
No,
feel the agony back in the back there, the camper. Oh my gosh. But that was a lot of stories. And Paco, we're gonna bring you back on again. I know it, to talk more in depth about that and stuff too, because there's a lot of great stories there as well. Yes. And Mike, this is what I was thinking about. There's a couple things I wanted to ask Paco about, as far as people that you haven't heard their name in a while. And let me ask you if you remember these names. The first one's easy, and Mike knows this guy. The first one, Beef Smith.
Love that guy.
Marco
Otero.
That's his last name.
Otero, that's right.
All right, hold on. If we're playing this game, I got another one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Fonseca.
Fonseca did our overnights on La Pantera, and it had a little shop that did electronic side jobs. Yes, had the silver tooth.
The tooth. I know, but remember they spelled it wrong. They wrote Fonseca on the side.
Yes.
And it was right next.
He was right next to Mariscos Chihuahua. And one time me and Pac went there for lunch, and I was like, "Hey, dude, that sign looks like it says Fonseca." And Pac goes, "Yeah, that's Fonseca's repair shop. And he like repaired TVs or something." It was so random. We just walked in and he was there. And I used to call him Dirty all the time. I'm like, "Yeah, Dirty," because he had a silver tooth. So like the guys in the Dirty South. And
he had the grill.
Yeah, and he'd go, "No, clean."
Oh my gosh.
All right, your turn, Adley. Go ahead.
All right, here's another one.
Yeah.
Casey Valentine.
Oh, snap.
Tight Levi pants ex-stripper. Yes.
Yes, he was the ex-male stripper.
Yes. He sent me and Fred a resume and with a Domino's pizza delivery.
Oh,
that
pretty
is
smart.
So smart.
Actually, really smart.
So smart.
That got him an interview. Yeah.
That is so smart.
Now, what happened to him though? I feel like he just kind of disappeared.
I don't know.
I remember what happened to him. I remember what happened to him.
Is it a
he
tomato?
Went over to KRQ. He went over to KRQ, and then he's like, "This sucks. I want out." Blah blah blah. And Pac's like, "Just come back." So he came back, and then we got bought.
Oh, and they're like, "Wait, you left?" Okay.
Yeah, that was an escort or something. Okay.
Don't you remember he started selling those weird like figurines on the internet, and he bought ads on Hot 98.3?
Yes, I told them to stop giving those stuff away. Remember on the air because they would go to his website or whatever it was. I'm like, stop. Yeah.
He was doing that on the air and giving them away on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Oh, that's what a character. How about? Do you have another one, Mike? I got one.
No, I don't remember anybody's names.
How about Ranger Rick?
Ranger Rick. Yes, I remember Ranger Rick. He would do overnights, and he was a goofy dude. I remember going in one night that he never came in to do on the weekends, and I came in and I just told him to F off, to never come back again, because they called me and woke me up, and I had to go on the station because he never showed up.
Oh, wow. Huh. Oh, interesting. He was a camp radio guy, by the way, Mike. Or
I remember
from camp radio.
Yeah.
Do you have another one, Mike?
Oh, I was about to say Big Nut Michael Lopez. As soon as you start saying ones, like all these start popping in my head. But in my mind, I was like, "Oh, everybody knows that name." I'm like, "No, they don't." So yeah, I was gonna say Big Nut Michael Lopez.
Yep, Big Nut Michael Lopez. Yep, sure. Yeah, came from Z93 in San Diego. Z93, Z94.
Yeah, but
Z90. Yep.
He was like an overnight guy there, and he always talked about being on Z93, and then he did mixes on Hot.
Yeah, did your morning mix. Yeah. Wasn't he the one that was like a secret agent and was on a submarine?
In the Navy, something like that. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Dude, but he used to always bring me a giant Kit Kat and a 60-ounce Mountain Dew when he'd come and drop off his mix. I was like, "Thank you." Yeah, exactly. All right, you got one out?
Yeah. The next one I got is, "This is Turi."
Yeah. He became a Chino brother. I don't know how.
We've got pictures.
Yes. Yeah. They were like taking it at the mall or something. Yeah.
Sears. Yeah. I think it was Sears. Tootie came and told us, "I got this special at Sears." I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Next time, whenever you guys bring me on, I got Tootie stories for you.
Oh, I want to hear Tootie.
I bet we have miles of stories with Pac. Like,
oh my god,
Pac, that's the thing, man. Just become a program director and hire me and Adley, because now I won't be a pain in the butt, and Adley, he can still do the sexy voice.
I could if you want, but I'm too old for that.
Next time we could talk about what I do now, and I love what I do now.
Really? Very cool. Hey, and here's something that, just speaking of promotions that never made it, and the one I think of is Poop Lottery.
Always you in the poop. Always in the poop.
I know.
Always. I remember one time I got mad at Adley. Stop with the fart jokes. Stop. Stop. Everything had to do with farts with him. Farts and poop. I don't know.
Poop. I know. I remember. Oh, hold on. I don't know if either of you remember this. Oh my gosh. I thought about this the other day. Pac, I don't know if you remember this. So Adlai always wanted commercials for his All Night Every Night show. And they started off and it was like, yeah, because remember we used to have a commercial for every show.
Oh, we also always,
yep. Yeah, but we always played the morning house party like every break. And then everybody else got an hour. And then, but anyway, so Adlai's were always like, hey, it's Adlai overnight sexy, blah, 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 blah. But girls would call Adlai, I'm not joking you, and ask us to play the commercial. Anyways, neither here nor there. So I'm not kidding you. So anyways, so then you're bagging on Adlai about it. So Adlai was like, I'm going to change the commercial. Don't worry, I'm going to change the commercial. So like, okay, cool. And so he had Vicky moan like a porn actress. Well, you don't remember this? You don't remember this? Oh my gosh, it was so crazy. So it was you and Dwayne, and Vicky was moaning like a porn actress, right? And she's like, oh, and you guys were like, oh yeah, this is so cool. Just like all night, every night. In fact, I'm gonna get some popcorn, and you're like eating popcorn while you're listening to Vicky moan, right? Anyways, so you told Vicky, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put a sound effect on your voice so no one will know it's you. You won't even be able to notice it's you. And then we start playing the commercial on the morning house party, and Vicky was fuming. She was furious. She's like, that sounds exactly like me. I mean, Paco, like, yeah, because it is you. And she's like, Adlai said he was going to make it sound different. Oh my gosh, that was so hilarious. The commercial, I'm butchering the commercial. It was hilarious. I wish I remembered exactly how it went, but it was you and Dwayne like eating popcorn and like it was a movie you're watching. Oh my god, it was hilarious. Anyway, sorry.
There's Vicky Valla's stories to tell for ages, but
she's great.
Yeah, she's a married woman now, so we'll not talk about it.
Oh, really? Well,
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and these things are tomatoes. Man, there are some wild stories. There's just some wild stories. I'm going to tell one morning house party story, and then you can tell one morning house party story. Is that fair, Adlai?
Yeah. I've got a great story too.
Okay, mine's real quick and short. Pac used to send me to the Dirty magazine store to bring back the latest episode or like edition of the OUI magazine. Like, when it would come out, dude. When it would come out, Pac would be like, "All right, go down to the porn store and bring that back." And then
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. Tomato.
This was a pretend. This is a tomato Pac. Just if it is, I'll stop telling the story.
No, I don't know. Go ahead. I just don't remember.
Okay, good. I'm glad he doesn't remember. And then he just nonchalantly looked at it on the soundboard while we were broadcasting on the morning show. Like he was looking at the newspaper. He'd just be like, "Oh, really? Who said the following whatever bit we were doing?" So yeah.
It was the Source magazine about music. That's and two, correct. It was topical stories about artists that we played.
That's what it really was.
Yeah, but here's my story.
Going to that porno store too. I hated. I was always embarrassed when I went in.
Too funny. But here's my story, and it's just I remember after we finally got the shot to be on the air, Paco finally said, "Yeah, we've been meaning to call you. We just couldn't find your number," and that's when we saw you, Bugsies. Anyways, moving forward real quick is as I remember, and this is another name from the past, Schoolio.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask about him. We need to write these things down so we can have him back and ask about him. Go ahead.
Yeah. And remember, me and Mike were on, we're doing the thing, and we were doing the Rock on Friday nights. It was Friday nights at the Rock. And I remember Paco's all, yeah, come on, you and Sketch, you guys come down, hang out with us at the Rock the first night. And we're like, oh, this is cool. We had, I don't know if we had Hot 98.3 badges or something, but I'm sure we had something. And if you remember, there was the DJ booth directly across from the stage, and we sat in this VIP section. Yeah, that was right next to the DJ booth. Yeah. And granted, I mean, in the light, it looked pretty crusty, but at night, we were there. The club was packed, and Schoolio was like buying us drinks. And Schoolio was a good tipper too. So the waitresses kept coming back. And I remember me and Mike I don't know if you remember the look on our eyes, Paco, but it was like a kid in a candy store, and it was just like, oh, this is amazing.
I remember Schoolio. Alex, yes.
Yeah. It took you that long to remember Schoolio? Oh, yes, my gosh.
Big Alex.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a Chino Brothers story. Sorry, man, this sucks. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this, but I got a Chino Brothers story for you with Schoolio in it. So you guys were going to that Mexican restaurant downtown, Maria something. The one, they had 3 of them, and they had that really good salsa. But you'd invited like 6 listeners to come with you to go eat there downtown. And me and Adley got to go because we were going to drive the Hot 98.3 van, and you guys were all
maybe. I don't know.
One of those. Yeah.
Anyways, so and you were it was a place where white people ate. It was a place where white people ate. Yeah, but I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, neither here nor there. You guys were gonna ride in this. Well, you did. You ride in this stretch Hummer limo, and it looked like curves inside this place. Like it was all neoned out and dope and everything. And Schoolio couldn't fit. He couldn't fit through the door. I'm being honest. He couldn't fit through the door. Yeah. So he had to ride in the Hot 98.3 van. He's about the size of Yerm for all the guys in Pittsburgh. So he had to ride in the Hot 98.3 van. So he was sitting in my seat, and I was sitting on the toolbox that we had in the back, which I don't even know why we had a toolbox. None of us knew how to work on a car. So anyways, but we drove to the restaurant, and we walked in, and we sat down. And me and Ad were pretty fresh. We were pretty new. And then Schoolio, like all the people were there, and Schoolio looks over and he goes, "Hey, everybody, watch out. The Chino brothers are in the house. Hide the silverware." And then everybody started laughing. And I was like, man, we're the Chino brothers. Like, people know who we are. Like, that is dope. Like, I felt like a king that night. I was like, I don't care that I'm sitting on this toolbox and Schoolio's spilling over and kind of on my leg a little bit. It doesn't matter. I'm one of the Chino brothers.
That's right.
Man, it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
Great memories. Great memories. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All
but
right,
with that, I think. What do you think? I think it's time to wrap it up, Mike.
Yeah, we're just gonna wrap. We won't do the rest of the stories. I knew this. I didn't know this was gonna happen, but as soon as we saw Pac in the green room, I thought it was gonna happen because I was just like, dude, let's just enjoy our life. This is one of the biggest blessings I've had. Man, I can't even tell you how God is good. I'm being honest with you guys. Like I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this by any stretch. Every bit of my life I do not deserve, and God has blessed me with it. And I pray that God blesses all you that watch tonight and all you who used to like my TikTok channel that just got taken down, that God will bless your lives as well. You know what? That TikTok channel is full of cuss words anyways. I'd rather people know me from the Chino brothers.
Well, you guys bring me back whenever you want.
Thanks for coming on, man. I was super excited that Adley got you.
Next time, I want a Frankie Market. I want Frankie Market.
Oh,
next
absolutely. Time. Yeah, we got next time. We just go straight radio fun stories. We just throw them out. Boom, boom, boom.
All right, just don't talk about my desk drawers.
All right, guys. Thanks
Vicky, for watching too. Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, Paco. Mike.